Rolling. I just published the first part. Um, don't really, uh, and I would really have a really hard time watching the first part of this. And generally, the first part of the Let's Play gets about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times as many views as the second part, and so on. You tend to lose people right after the first part. So if the first part isn't really watchable, then you lose people, then you won't get any views on the second part. Um, it's going to take until about part five for this thing to be watchable. But if you want to know what the timeline looks like, um, I'm recording this, which is probably somewhere around, I don't know, part eight. I haven't counted, so it's going to be awkward. Like, you're going to be able to tell what part it is because it's going to be in the title, but I don't actually count it, so I don't know. I haven't counted, so I don't know what it is right now. Um, It's very hard to get here, um, because you have to, because most of the time you get through parts 1 through 7 first. But it's recorded after the publishing of part one. So theoretically, the part after this one, whatever that would be, if I got comments on part one, which I won't, I'd be able to see those comments by the part after this one. And how far I got when I published part one was the part previous to this one. I don't know how to get out of this. Maybe the B button, but I want to review. So she eats an orange. Kaoru watching a movie. Review kind of like what CGs I'm going to have. Just basically review the spoilers. It seems pretty clear from the last part that I've made it into a Kaoru differentiated situation. That CG is a little bit confusing because I don't know what the character in the background is. Or I mean, who the character in the background is. Yes, it looks kind of like Kaoru, but though both the characters would have been in middle school at the time, Ayaka and Yue, and so they wouldn't have known who Kaoru was. Because I'm guessing that black and white uniform is the middle school uniform, the one that the only one we've seen Ayaka wear, whereas the blue and white one is the high school uniform. Just guessing. Don't know for certain, but just guessing. I also made a mistake in a Minol, which is upsetting you. That's kind of irrelevant to this in its entirety. Okay. Well, it already took me to the second page of save files. That big boom. Um, I'll say something if I recognize any of these sentences, but um, why is there so many? Okay. After school on the weekend, and that's it. Although they don't not have Saturday off, their weekend is only Sunday. Um, Normally, I don't know who he's talking about, leaves the classroom right away, but I didn't get out of my seat that day. Try Google Translate. Maybe it's I would get out of my seat right away, but I didn't get out of school. It didn't get up right away. Normally, I would have left the classroom in a hurry, but on that day, I didn't leave my seat. Exactly, because you wanted to talk to Kaoru. No, more accurately, I had lost the will to stand up. Well, didn't you finish your tests? A piece of paper was placed on my desk. Oh, is this some sort of discipline notice? This doesn't sound good. Is this the reason why? That's what's driving me to the depths of despair. I forgot if this is the third day of exams or whether or not he made it through the exams already. No, it's not because yesterday. No, yes, he's been through exams already because he would have been studying yesterday, but instead he was just kind of hanging out with Kaoru, right? And it wasn't actually studying. It wasn't like I hadn't expected it at all, but when it came down to it, it was too much trouble. Well, let's see if Mr. Tomoya Face is just being dramatic here. Let's see if this is first world problems. Surely, as the test hasn't been graded yet, it wasn't entirely unexpected, but it was too troublesome when it happened. The reality of that scrap of paper. I did not want to accept that reality.
そう悩んでないで帰ろうよ。
Don't worry too much. Let's go home, okay? That's gonna leave me in suspense. Fine. Wow! You read it? What are you doing looking over my shoulder reading my stuff? That's right. So, I have completely lost the math I thought was okay. Are you saying you completely failed the math exam? I thought, so according to Google Translate, I had thought that I was good at mathematics. But I had failed. Spectacularly. I had crashed and burned, as I would say. And that's not a love song when I say it. In other words, it was a makeup exam. Oh, you have to redo them in Japan? That's okay. I mean, in the United States it depends on the teacher. The teacher can do something like that. They have usually they have that's something like a high school teacher could do. You wouldn't ever have that in university. But they may not. They don't have to. They can just they can just fail you for the whole class at the end, and then you just have to retake it. Although I don't know how retakes really work in high school, I haven't bothered with that because the schedule is more nailed down. What's more, there's a retest next Monday. Okay, but is that just for you? Or is that for everybody? Okay, who's good at math? I cannot bust in through the fourth wall and help you, Tomoya. It was as if the days we spent studying together had been meaningless. Of course, I felt bad about it. I couldn't even look at Otoa-san's face properly. After saying all sorts of terrible things about this result, Sheen leaves the classroom with a laugh. Why is everyone knowing what your test scores are? I never let anybody know what my score was on any exam unless I got 100%. Then I would kind of somehow sort of accidentally let it slip that happened. Because I'm not that good a person. No, someone would ask me usually, and I would be like, Because for some reason, people tend to ask me how well I did on things. I tell them if it was good, and I wouldn't if it was bad. If it was bad, I just say my grade's confidential. And then they would probably know I did bad. Geez, isn't it times like these when you're supposed to help me like my best friend? Well, maybe he's not your best friend. Even if he's going through the same thing as me, he'll never save me. Even if he faced the same thing as me, he would never help me. Yeah, okay. When that time comes, you'll experience the pain I'm going through. But even those bitter words won't help with the makeup exams in the makeup exam in the future. Seriously, what should I do? Well, you just show up for the makeup exam and hope that it's by just chance, a different selection of questions that you just happen to be better at. Or just get more sleep.
三上くん、まだ諦めるのは早いよ。
Okay, so Mikami-kun, Mada. If I could just remember what Mada was. I don't, though. Mada's still. Okay. It is still too early to give up. But the still didn't make it to the translator. Karu's being that, like, Danganronpa character. Where it just kind of, like, comes alongside you. It's like, don't give up yet, protag. At those words, I raised my head, which had just been lowered. Kaoru being every man's fantasy in another way. I guess they need to sell the
三上
game.
くんには教科書とか借りていろいろお世話になってることだし、ここは私が手伝ってあげる。
Mikami-kun, you've been helping me out with my textbooks and stuff, so I'll help you out here. But, Otawa-san? But, like, you haven't, though. Like, not that... Like, she's exaggerating, man.
私じゃ何か不満？
Something. Come on, go. Is there something wrong with me? You see, Karu, I'm not dissatisfied, it's just that the test was finally over. It's that, I wasn't ready yet to be pulled out of my muck I was wallowing in. I just wanted to keep wallowing for a while. You came to help too soon. The phrase.
ああ、いいのいいの。私は実際に数学クリアできたわけだし、三上くんもまた頑張ればきっと大丈夫だよ。
Okay, I recognize individual words in there, but the phrase, no. The whole sentence can't really be done here. It's fine. I actually cleared math, so I'm sure you'll be fine if you work hard again. Toa-san's visit sounded exactly like the voice of an angel. No pressure on the voice actor. This kindness is nothing compared to Sheen's. And I didn't even have to do anything. I just had to be the protag. It's like a goddess offering a helping hand. This is, in quotes, he said this out loud.
そんな言い方しなくていいって、こっちが恥ずかしいよ。
You don't have to say it like that, it's embarrassing. The sight of Otawa-san blushing while worrying about her surroundings was adorable. Okay, I'll do it.
ああ、頑
So gambate is kind of like, uh, let's do our best kind of thing, right? It's the cheer. But let's see what they literally translate it to. Okay, it's not literally, it's not good luck though. It's used kind of like good luck, but it does not mean good luck. It's something like, keep up the good workish kind of thing. Um, I tried putting a little hot-blooded energy. She tried putting a little hot-blooded energy into it. Otawa-san matched my. Oh, I did. Okay. Otawa-san matched my enthusiasm. Or stealing myself. Apologized for the start of my studies for the makeup exams. Apologized for. I made up my mind and apologized by starting to study for the makeup exam. After school, we stayed in the classroom looking after our studies. What, like, specifically, what, yeah, like, what specifically in math would you typically learn in the second year of a Japanese high school? I don't know. Is it calculus? Some sort of, is it trig? Algebra 2 and trig? I mean, math eventually gets hard, but that's when you do stuff like abstract algebra. After school, we stayed in the classroom looking after our studies. That said, I'm just stuffing textbooks into my bag.
今日もこの前みたいに商店街に出てお昼食べながら勉強やろうかって思ってるんだけど、それでもいい？
I need to like figure out what that like those sore demoi kind of things kind of mean. Those common phrases. I can break it apart, right? Sore is like that. Demo is like but, and means good or nice. So it's kind of like that but good. Um, I don't know how to make that into like an English speaker's understandable thing. Of course, it begins with let's see here. Mainichi is every day. Kyo is today, and then with a mo particle. So it's kyo is also, and then there's a this demonstrative, and then the whole rest of the sentence. I don't really know. Like I see the food kanji, so it might have something to do with food. I'm thinking of going to the shopping district like last time, like today, like last time, and studying it while having lunch. Is that okay? Okay, so that but good is that good? Aw.
そう、それじゃあ今日もあのお店にしようか。
We got. That's right. Okay, I see. Then let's go to that shopping district again. Today. Otawa-san is the only one I can rely on, so I don't really care where she is.
そう思ってもらえるとなんだか嬉しいな。
Protagonist being annoying. Like mushing out too bad. I'm kind of happy to hear that. That totally does not give me the ick.
さて、それじゃあ三上くんのために手伝うとするかな。
Close sprite. Well then, I guess I'll help out, Mikami-kun. Tawa Sensei, I look forward to working with you.
うん、いい返事だね。それじゃあ早速行ってみようか。
Yeah, that's a good answer. Let's hurry up then. Starting with those words, my supplementary exam studying begins. My study for the supplementary exam begins. We're not gonna like go through this like we did for like these different authors are so profoundly different, right? The author who is writing Minamo's routes, he probably, although I can't be certain. He would like write out specific lines from the study session. Whoever was writing Shion would also less so, but to some degree still write some lines like from the study session. The person who writes Kyoru scenes just never does that. Like just like skips through the studying. I don't know how to write the math studying stuff, so I'm just gonna skip through that with ellipses. Only the sound of writing could be heard in the quiet restaurant. Then, as I silently solved the example, Otawa-san whispered next to me, telling me the point of the question. Integration by trigonometric substitution. That's how we devoted ourselves to our studies. The atmosphere around us is completely weakened. Like Shimatsu? Well, I probably wouldn't be able to see it because it would be like it would be written in kanji. I see mudo. So you mean the mood around us? Oh, let me check how Google Translate. Maybe it translates it mood. The surroundings are completely in the weakened mood. Yeah, okay. For some reason, the offline translator takes mood and translates it to atmosphere when it's already mood. Unlike in the past, students from the same school chatted. As I studied in the midst of all that, I really did stand out. It was embarrassing, but I didn't really have anything to worry about. To worry about? Yes, you did. You have an exam. You gotta get your trigonometric substitution under control. I felt embarrassed, but I didn't really care. That's a better one.
あ、三上くんそこ違うよ。
Because I'd rather be embarrassed with Kaoru than be alone, right? Mikami-kun, let's move over there. Koreka, which is something like this. Oh, this?
うん、そうそう。
That's right, right? I'm just gonna keep going. As we continue to act like housewives. What? Okay, so let's move over there. It's not a good translation, but... We keep repeating things like this. Okay, we continue to do this and that. With a sun-shi atmosphere, whatever that means. It's probably misread kanji by the OCR. Yeah, it is. So, you see my cursor in the upper right here? This one's wrong. So we continue to do something like something, which is not exactly housewives. And then, you just keep doing what you're doing. Which is math. I was deeply grateful for her existence, as I focused on the Jang she spoke of. Okay, Google Translate says, I am deeply grateful for her presence, which makes more sense in this context, although existence is funnier, and concentrate on listening to her words. That's better, Google Translate. After finishing my studies, I finally leave the shop where I've been staying for a long time. Okay, today wa something Otawa-san. Thank you so much for today, Otawa-san. Okay. So, let me try to get that. So it's kyo wa, which is today, hontou ni. Okay, that's how you write So, here, give me. Is this how you write out hontou ni in kanji? Hontou ni means really. And then this is arigato, which is thank you. And of course this is Otawa and this is san. So the only reason why I wouldn't have been able to read this is because I don't know how to write hontou ni in kanji. But that's probably it. So I really thank you, Otawa-san, for today.
お隣さんが困ってるんだもん。ちょっとは助けてあげなきゃね。
My neighbor's in trouble. I have to help him out a little. Honestly, I think it would be nice if you could say those words to me, even if only a little. Wait, she just did. That doesn't make any sense. Tomoya? I often wish that Sheen would say those words to me.
まったくだよね。
So, mata is like see you. I forgot well, I never learned it, but should have been able to pick up from context what kudayone means, and I don't. You're absolutely right. Okay. I just did Google Translate just in case. It said absolutely right. Or it just said absolutely. I've been thinking about how long it would last. But at times like this, I can't help but feel that our destination is close by. Station? Yep. Thanks, Otawa-san. Otawa-san, no. Okay. I don't know how I could do that. I'm starting to feel like I will be okay for the makeup exam. I think something close to that.
そう言ってくれると嬉しいけど、まだ油断は禁物だよ。
I'm happy to hear you say that, but don't let your guard down yet. We still got to do partial fraction expansion. The problem is tomorrow, right? If we play, it'll be over. Yeah, the problem is tomorrow. Once we start playing, it's like it's over. It's hard to, when I say work before pleasure, right? Because once you start doing fun things, it's hard to get back to doing the work you're supposed to be doing.
そうだよ。明日もちゃんと勉強しないと。もう時間だってないんだから。
That's right, we need to study properly tomorrow. We don't have much time left. And it's Monday, right? So they have Sunday off before. And I don't know, but I don't think I'll be able to study like I did today tomorrow. Now that I think about it, it's the exact same development as this midterm. Back then, if I had properly reviewed math the day before, maybe.
仕方ないな。こうなったら最後まで面倒見てあげるよ。
Geez, it can't be helped. I'll take care of you until the end. Eh?
だってそうしないと明日勉強しないでしょう。
It's like she's already decided that you're going to be her husband. So she's trying to help you make more money. It's pretty intense. But if you don't, you won't be studying tomorrow, will you? If you don't what? If I don't. Because if I don't do that, you won't be studying tomorrow, right? It's probably what she's probably accusing of him. You won't study unless I help you. Probably.
だったら
Okay.
明日も勉強手伝ってあげるからね。
In that case, I'll help you study again tomorrow, okay? The corners of my eyes grew ripe with happiness. That was how happy Otowa-san's words made me feel right now. So what should we do about the place? Like the library?
三上くんの家は
Mikami-kun, no. And then I don't know what the last part is. It's kind of like, it's kind of weird because the mi it's like stuttering, like the start of Mikami-kun is written with hiragana, but then the first character of Mikami-kun is the kanji that means 3. And that starts with the mi sound in this context. Sometimes it's san, but in this case it gets like mika or something. Why would they not repeat the kanji on the stutter? Why would they do hiragana? It's just the style. What about Mikami-kun's house? My house? I should have been able to get that because it's repeating the same kanji for house. And, Ore is me, right? Ore knows, okay. Uchi, right? Ore no Uchi. Or Ie, one or the other. Or Ei, I don't forget which way the vowels go. Otawa-san nodded. Demo something. But, demo, I'm pretty sure last time... Okay, so... I see this kanji a lot, but I don't ever figured out what it meant. This means time, in case you weren't aware. So, use it for o'clock and all kinds of anything time. So I guess this is last. This is the possessive, and that's time. I probably will not remember that's last time for next time. I feel like she turned me down pretty hard, but...
ダメなら他を考えるけど。
Okay, so, dane, would be a borrowed word because it's written in katakana, but it's not borrowed from English, I wouldn't think. Nara, but it's not kara, it's nara. Tomoya, the first kanji of his name. Let's translate that. If you can't, I'll think of something else, question mark. Even if you say you'll think about it. Well, from my point of view, I've invited her before. Yeah. It's fine. But it's not like daijobu fine. It's a different kind of fine. It has E in it.
本当?
Okay, honto, which is really? I've invited you before. I don't mind at all.
それじゃ行くね。
Yeah, I'll be going then.
じゃあ明日駅まで迎えに来てくれる？三上くんの家ってわからないし。
Okay, so it's not uchi, it's a different word for house. Ja, which is like, well then. So then, in conclusion. And then we have asate. Is it asate or ashita? Ashita is tomorrow. Asate is the day after tomorrow, whatever you want to call that. But anyway, so it's well then we'll do something or other tomorrow. Mikami-kun's house something or other. Then will you come pick me up at the station tomorrow? I don't know where Mikami-kun's house is. Yeah, if you call me, I'll come pick you up. There's that whole thing, like, yeah. Yeah, in 1999, when this game came out, you wouldn't like necessarily give someone your address and they can just type it into Google Maps. Or their car GPS. Sometimes I'll do that. I don't even Google Maps it. I'll just punch it in my car GPS.
へえ、結構いいとこに住んでるんだね。
So we have like the casual outfit of Karu. Got the high neck, sort of like Yue's outfit. Guess that was in style in Japan in 1999, the high neck thing. Given I like to wear collars, for almost a silly reason of either I don't want to sunburn my neck, and clothes are always more effective than sunscreen. Or I don't want to show off my sunburned neck. I want to hide it, one or the other. And I think it just looks better on me. Tall and skinny white guy thing, right? If you hide more of your neck, I think it would make my neck look shorter, which is good for someone with a long neck. Wow, you live in a pretty nice place. Those are the first words that came out when she saw my house. Well, I can saw my house, right? We have the O-ray, I believe, which is me. This comes into play a lot when you're thinking about how to read remember 11 because the first person pronoun changes between I can't really say because it's spoilers, but between apparently the same character in his internal monologue, and you can't really do that in English because there's only one first person subject pronoun, and that is I. So the English translators for the part of the TL wiki decided to use italicized I to distinguish the first person subject pronouns, and it's really confusing because you don't know why the I is italicized. And then for the Gestalt pass, they decided to do something different. I don't know what it was. But you have this ore. You also have watashi. You also have boku, right, which is another first person subject pronoun that a young man could use. So you can like mix it up. And then we have the same kanji for house again. We have the object postposition. And then mi, this is mite. This kanji means to look, to see, to watch, all that stuff. So, ore no, whatever the word for house is, omite. And I guess this way of ending a sentence can join to the next one. In this way, it's like win, sort of sense, I guess. Might be like Hebrew, where it's like, it could be win, or it could be just a joint, a butt coupling. Sora domo, which they're translating to thanks. This combination here, like the re followed by the little ya, for a native English speaker is annoying. It's like raw, 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 raw. It's kind of an unnatural sound. Now, the re is actually not really like re. It's more like somewhere between re and li. So it's like li. So it's not as hard as saying ra. It's more like ra. But it's still hard. I opened the gate to the house and let Otawa-san in, since it wouldn't do me any good to be in the front of the house now.
お邪魔します。
Sorry to intrude. I guess that's something you say when you go into someone else's house. Some of those commonly used expressions. Oja moshima, oja mashimasu. Oja mashimasu. I forgot what the phrase you use when you walk into someone's room. Itadakimasu, something like that. I head to the living room by myself before she takes off her shoes. Went to the living room alone before she lines up her shoes. What's the suggestion? Okay. Yes, it's a thing in Japan. They always take off your shoes when you go into the house and leave them by the door. Some people, like, sometimes you do that in the United States too. Like, I went to like a party at my boss's house, right? And I took off my shoes at my boss's front door. In fact, a lot of people do that when they go to other people's houses. And they do that in Europe apparently too in some places. But usually when no one else is home and you come home to your own house, in the United States, people just don't bother taking their shoes off. Right? I'm still wearing my shoes and I'm in my house, given I'm close to my front door. But I haven't always been close to my front door since I walked in. Yes, I'm wearing my shoes while doing this.
へえ。
Heh. Which is heh, I guess. The room was even more beautiful than it had been yesterday. Why? Because of the sun or because Karu's in it? I spent the night cleaning yesterday. Oh, I see. Okay. That said, we could have been studying. I'm not usually that dirty, so I'm in a good mood.
ふーん。これが三上くんの部屋なんだ。わりかし綺麗にしてるね。
Why are you in his bedroom? Well, that's where his desk is, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily let the guest into my bedroom. I would not, absolutely, because my bedroom is just a mess. And, like, just that's the way it is. So this is Mikami-kun's room. It's pretty clean. Oh, I cleaned it. Well, you can sit around there. I'll bring you something to drink.
うん。
I like how he's honest with Karu. It's not like with you. He's like, yeah, it's clean because I just cleaned it. It usually isn't clean, okay? It's like, the sinks in my house are usually look like the sinks that you would find in a horror video game. Someone comes over, then I clean them. With that, I left the room. I hurried down the stairs, excited, exiting the living room and heading for the kitchen. I forgot to check if kitchen was a borrowed word. I still can I? Yes, it is. Okay, so, yeah, kitchen and reebing are borrowed words. Reebing being living room. First, I took the tea bag pack out of the cupboard. And lined up the cups for two on a tray. Okay, so the tea bag got Miss OCR'd to tea bag, but the translator was able to recover it, so that's kind of cool on the translator's part. I poured the water into the matching teapot with the cup, into a matching teapot with the cup, and took out some snacks that would go well with the drink. Like crackers. It didn't take long for everything to line up on the tray. This time I slowly climbed up the stairs and slowly opened the door to the room. In this situation, like, what I'd probably bring from the girl would be something like pie, which sounds kind of extreme, but that's the thing I do. That's the things I make: chili, pie, dinner rolls, various casseroles, chuck roast in the slow cooker, that kind of stuff. This time, I slowly climbed the stairs and slowly opened the door to the room. And you found that she found your diary and is reading it. No. When I came back, Otawa-san was standing by the window staring outside. I placed the tray I had brought on the mini table and asked softly, "Can you see anything from here?"
隣の家。
Somebody's house. Tonori, the house next door. Oh, okay, just the next door house. I can see the house next door through the window. Oh no, that is Ayaka's house, isn't it? Memories trigger. It was also where my precious childhood friend used to live.
この部屋と近いんだね。
It's close to this room, isn't it? Otawa-san's words. Yes. It's getting more obvious now, right? Used to live. She doesn't live there anymore. She could have just moved, but the hints that it's getting more overt. That she's died. I still think my theory is that she's dead, right? So it hasn't been confirmed yet. But like, there's a lot of hints. Like, it's pretty close to being confirmed. Like, I'm pretty sure the authors are supposed to expected you to think that she's dead by a while ago, right? I think they expect you to be able to guess that quite a while ago, but definitely by now, if it's true. Otawa-san's words sounded like she was whispering to me to explain about the house next door. There was no way Otawa-san knew what was going on, but for some reason I couldn't help but feel that way. That room used to be my childhood friend's. Eh?
幼なじみって今坂さんのこと？
My childhood friend, do you mean Imasaka-san? Nope, a different one. Yeah. No, there was another one. By that time, Yue had already played with O. By that time, Yue was also playing with me.
へえ、そうなんだ。今坂さんの他にも幼なじみがいたなんてね。初めて聞いたな。
Huh? I see. I didn't know you had other childhood friends besides Imasaka-san. This is the first time I heard of that. Well, she's not here anymore.
ふーん、どこかに行っちゃったんだ。
She's gone somewhere? Ah. She went somewhere, all right. There was no mistaking Otawa-san's interpretation.
それじゃあ勉強でも始めようか。
Well then, should we start studying? Sodana, which is just basically, yeah, that's right. We started our final study session for the makeup exams in moderation. You mean, after we finished talking, we started studying for the final exam. You mean the makeup exam. Okay, so we combine the two translations together, we get a good idea. Again, we're going to skip this because the Kaoru writer doesn't like to have specific lines from the study session in their dialogue. While I was studying, the sound of the phone suddenly began to ring in the room. I stood up to pick up the receiver, looking annoyed. This is a CG? Okay. You want the CG in the video by itself. I mean, it should get pretty high resolution by now because you compress a still, you can make it, I don't know. You don't have to put as many artifacts. Okay. Okay, it says, "Hi, Mikami desu." I don't have to translate that. It's yes, I am Mikami.
あ、ともちゃん、ゆえだよ。
Oh, Tomo-chan. It's Yue. Just a smile. Yue's energetic voice flowed from the phone. Nice imagery. I kept my ears away from the receiver at the sound of her voice. So it starts off with Nichiyobi no, Sunday something or other, and then there's some sort of rest. What is it? Something about it being a day off and stuff. What the hell are you doing here this afternoon on a Sunday? It's Sunday afternoon. What is going on?
ともちゃんってばきっとまだ寝てるんでしょ。
Hey, Tomo-chan. I bet you're still asleep, aren't you? No, I'm not. I answered the phone. What do you mean?
え、もう起きてるの？
You're already awake? Is it bad to wake up?
そういうわけじゃないけど、珍しいこともあるんだなって。
That's not what I meant, but I was just thinking about how rare it could be. Well, I grew up, Yue. What does your body think of me? What does your body think of me? How do you see me? It should be more accurate, right? Well, it's true that she usually sleeps soundly, but until early afternoon on Sundays. But I don't have to go to church. However, I will sometimes sleep until about 11 a.m. on Saturdays. But it doesn't ever go into the afternoon. Like, I can't push it that far. It's still before noon when I wake up. That's none of your business. Anyway, what do you want? I'm busy studying for makeup exams right now.
ああ、そうだったんだ。休日なのに勉強するなんて、それも珍しいことだね。
I see. It's rare for you to study on a day off. Sherlock Holmes over here. You're always like, you're doing something funny. You're up early. Oh, you're also studying. What's wrong with you? Something's up. She's gonna pop in on you, isn't she? I don't know if she's just casually making fun of me, but just talking to her like this is whittling away my time to study. If you don't need anything, I'll hang up.
ああ、待てよ。
Oh, wait. I need to translate that. Mate is wait. Is there something else?
ともちゃんが勉強するって言うなら、ゆえが教えてあげる。
Benkyou. I keep forgetting what Benkyou is. I should know. Oh, it's study. If you're going to study, Tomo-chan, I'll teach you. Huh?
こう見えても、数学は問題なく平均点クリアなんだよ。任せてほしいな。
It may not look like it, but math is no problem for me, and the average score is clear. I wish you'd leave it to me. Oh, hold on. How do you know about my makeup exams?
ゆえは稲穂くんから全部聞いてるよ。みんなにも話してたし。
Yue has her network of spies. Huh? I heard everything from Sheen, basically. He told everyone. Matashi demo Sheen. Again with Sheen. I see. If it's Sheen, then it makes sense. I spoke to the receiver in a tired voice.
というわけで、今からそっちに行ってもいい？
Anyway, can I come over there now? Nani? Which is what? I checked on Otoa-san. Otoa-san was looking around my wound, waiting for the call to end. If Yue came now, she'd definitely say something. Okay, I don't know who would say something, but if Yue came over now, somebody would say something. Like, Yue would tell the entire rest of the class that, Karu was at Mikami-kun's house. Even if Yuri didn't say anything, I felt bad for Otoa-san, who would come all the way here to teach me how to study. Then there's only one thing to do. So when I'm thinking like Uchikoshi had to jump in to write this part, because whoever was writing Karu probably didn't. I brought my face close to the receiver and conversed in a voice loud enough for Otawa-san not to hear. Huh. It's fine. Even if you don't come, I'll be enough. I'll be enough by myself.
遠慮しなくていいって。どうせともちゃんが数学苦手なの知ってるんだから、ゆえがちゃんと教えてあげるよ。
You don't have to hold back. I know you're bad at math anyway, so I'll teach you properly. I'm not holding back at all. I wish she'd do that kind of teasing somewhere else. No, I don't. Really.
三上くん、どうかしたの？
Mikami-kun, what's wrong? It's nothing, yeah, really.
そう？なら別にいいけど。
I see. Then I don't mind. I return my gaze to my textbook at those words. It was only for a moment that I managed to dodge Otowa-san. Even Yue could hear the ripoff. It almost sounded like a joke. Probably something like Yue could hear what he said to Otowa-san.
何？他に誰かいるの？
What, is there someone else? There was no one here. So what were you talking about again?
数学の勉強を教えに行く話。
I'm gonna teach you how to study math. That's right, that's the story. So, in the end...
ゆえがそっちに行くことになったんでしょ？
You're going to do that Yue's way, aren't you? Yue's going to go there, right? Yeah, that's right. Right there. Wait, that's not.
なんでよ。
Eh? What is it? Why? I was about to fall for Yue's words. I told you, you don't have to come.
だって今日はともちゃんと遊ぼうかなってそう思ってたのに。
I mean, I was thinking of playing with Tomo-chan today. What will you play? This isn't what you said in the beginning.
あ、もう決めた。そっちに行っちゃうもん。
Should be like hang out, not play, right? Even the offline, it's like something that Sora the Troll made a big deal about there's this word that's kind of like hang out. I don't know if it's like asobimas or something. No, asobimas, well, whatever it is. And English textbooks in Japan often translate it to play. But it can be kind of awkward in some contexts because usually when you have teenagers or, adults, they will still use the word, but as a teenager, I'd rarely ever said that I would like to play with somebody. If I did, it would sound really awkward. And so, but it appears that the Sugoi offline translator is doing the same thing that English textbooks tend to do in Japan, which is translate it to play, and it's a bit awkward. But the point is, it can be used kind of like hang out. So maybe you would use like hang out, perhaps. I've already made up my mind. I'm going over there. Yue smiles as she hangs up the phone. Which doesn't make any sense because she's... on the phone. I have to say that Yue unilaterally hangs up the phone. I guess that's supposed to be like profoundly. You're not joking. If you do that, won't it be the same in the end? Yes. You're gonna catch me with Otawa-san at my house. I put the receiver back down on. Otawa-san looked at me and asked me what was wrong.
電話終わった？
Didn't want his phone, by the way. Are you done with the phone call? It's over, but now's not the time for that.
なくなった？
You tell, it's gone. I need to tell her exactly what's going to happen. Let's go somewhere else and study right now. 2. As I said that, she closed the textbooks and notebooks that had been... I closed the textbooks and notebooks that had been open on the table one by one and put them together. Otawa-san followed suit for now. Just as I checked the textbook I had stuffed into my bag and was about to leave the room, Otawa-san asked me if I'd been curious after all. Otawa-san asked me if I was interested after all. Interested.
ね、どういうことなの？
What's going on? I'll tell you after I calm down.
わかった。
Okay. She gave me an unconvinced answer, but Otawa-san followed me for now. Anyone would be curious if she suddenly said something like that. If I suddenly said something like that. Anyone would be concerned if someone suddenly said something like that. We ran towards the station thinking we'd done something, thinking I've done something bad. With Otawa-san thinking I'd done something bad. Probably. I've come this far. It's fine. We were sprinting all the way to the station. Otawa-san managed to keep up, but she must have been able... struggled? Otawa-san somehow keeping up with me, but I'm sure she has unanswered questions, probably. Otawa-san, are you okay? That's what this is. Otawa-san, daijoubu? I turned around and looked at her. Her shoulders were heaving, and she was hanging her head with both hands on her knees. Judging from the way she's acting, it looks like it'll be a while before she recovers. Anyway, let's rest somewhere. Otawa-san weakly put her hands together in understanding at my suggestion. For now, I decided to rest at a nearby cafe. After the waitress took the order, we finally reached the point where we could fall for it. Fall for it? I finally calmed down. I can finally take a breather.
で、どういうことなの？
So, what's going on? What do you mean?
とぼけるのはなし。こうして三上くんに付き合ったんだから、理由くらいは教えてほしいよ。
Don't play dumb. Now that you've gone out with Mikami-kun, I've gone out with Mikami-kun, I'd like you to at least tell me why. Well, that's true. If I don't say it now, it'll be bad for her. Do you want to get involved? The wrong kanji. So I'm going to type in C, here, right? In Japanese. And I want to grab that kanji, paste it in. So now it's, oops. Control C, come on. Backspace, Control V. Do you want to hear it? There we go. Oh, because I copied that to my clipboard, it like overwrote it in the translation window. Yes, I want to hear it. I want to hear. Should I just be honest here? Or should I avoid being pursued by Ottawa? Be honest. I don't care what the track says. I don't care what the hints are. I'm going to pick be honest. Why would you not pick that? I'll try the other one. Skillfully gloss over it. Nope, top. No matter what the hint says, I'm going to do it. I might lose a Karu point. I don't care. I should be honest with her. Boys, this is what you do, okay? You be honest. If that doesn't work, pick a different girl. More than anything, I want to avoid doing anything that would make me lie to Otawa-san. That phone call was from Yue.
今坂さんから
Was Imasaka-san. I nodded. She said she'd come over there now.
そうだったんだ。でも別に困るようなことじゃないと思うけど。
I see, so that's it. I don't think that's anything to be troubled about. I silently shook my head. She said she'd help me study math. Well, I don't really know what the truth is, though.
教えてくれるならなおさらよくない？
Wouldn't it be even better if you told me? I felt bad for Otawa-san for coming all the way to my house.
え、
Eh?
そんなこと別に気にしなくてもいいのに。
You don't have to worry about that. No, I think it's better to have Otawa-san teach me than Yue-san.
なんで？
Oh, why? You stayed with me during the midterms, didn't you?
うん。
Hmm? In that case, I think it would be better if you could teach me a little bit and make it easier to understand.
あ、そうなんだ。
I see. I explained the reason. But it's not the right reason. That's not the reason, though. Upon hearing those words, Otawa-san slowly lowered her head. It seems like the real reason is he didn't want Yue to know that she was there with Otawa. He and Otawa were together in his house. She didn't want her to find out that information and spread it around.
それもそうだよね。
For some reason, she doesn't like this. That's true. Those words sounded so sad. But why?
そりゃそうだよ。三上くんにとってはその方がいいに決まってる。
Yeah, hopefully that will cost me the good ending or whatever there. It's just that, like, what? Way to be Saki style game. Where the correct answer is push her to the ground. Okay. Spoilers for number 7. That's true. That's obviously better for you, Mikami-kun. Yeah, there's a part in Saki's route in Ever Seven where you have two choices. One is, ask Saki to lay down on the ground with you to look up at the stars with you or whatever. And the second option is push her to the ground. And the answer that gives you more Saki points is push her to the ground. Relieved, I moved on. So that's how it is. Are you satisfied now?
うん、納得した。
I understand now. Well, they like to study now that I understand. That you understand. What do you want to do?
いいんじゃないここで。
What's wrong with staying here? Well, it's not like I'm dissatisfied. Well, whatever. I took a textbook out of my bag. Skipped the studying as usual. We started studying knowing it would be a nuisance. Oh. Even though it's only been an hour or two, I feel like I've been studying for quite some time.
これで何回目かな
How many times has this happened? What do you mean?
三上くんとこういうお店に入った回数。
The number of times I went to a place like this with Mikami-kun. Counting the dates? Kind of thing, but it felt like I've been studying somewhere with Otawa for the past few days. I thought maybe I forgot how many times it had happened. Maybe 2 or 3 times.
ああ、惜しい。正解は4回。覚えてないの
Oh, too bad. The correct answer is 4 times. Don't you value it? You've come that far in the past few days?
これって結構来てるよね。
There's a lot of people here, aren't there? There's no one who came here 4 times in such a short time.
そうなの
Is that so, right? Really? Yeah, Yue can't do this either.
うん。なんとなく満足した。
Yeah, I'm kind of satisfied. Or happy. Towa-san basks in satisfaction with a smile. Her face looks like it's really going to get better.
それにしてもさ。
Anyway.
三上くんと今坂さんってやっぱり付き合ってるわけ
So Mikami-kun and Imasaki-san are dating after all? Schmack. I slammed my face into the table.
どうしたの
What's wrong? Well, I was wondering what you were going to say all of a sudden. Oh, I see why. It's because you would think that he would not want Yue to see. It's like if Yue would have a problem. He has a problem with Yue seeing him with other girls. That must mean that Yue must be dating him. Okay, it's the misinterpretation thing. I see. Yeah, okay, I get how this works. But I forgot to put in Google Translate. Well, I guess I did. I wonder what you're going to say all of a sudden.
だって幼馴染でいつも仲良さそうに話してるし、朝も一緒に来てるようだし。
I mean, you're like childhood friends, and then you're always talking like your friends, and she's always here in the morning. Or there. My childhood friend is right, but I don't have any other analogies. Doesn't the usual thing look like it's just getting along with other people? Does usual behavior seem like they get along well with others? Or does our usual behavior look like we just get along well? I don't know what it is.
で、結局のところはどうなのよ。
Oh. Well, no. So, what are you going to do in the end? That. Okay, these choices are. Actually, let's just say that's true. No. There is no such thing. I'm going to take the bottom one, because there's no such thing. We're not dating. Yes. There is no way that that would happen between UA and I. I'm denying it, but I can't help but feel depressed. Or feel heavy. She's not conscious of UA? What is it? Or am I not conscious of UA? Something like that. No, she's keeping in mind. In other words, she's probably conscious of it. But right now, at least, I feel like denying it.
そうなんだ。私てっきり。
Oh, is that so? I thought. Who cares about that? More importantly, could you tell me where you are? Rather than that, could you please tell me about this place? Huh, why? Tawa-san was about to say something, but I cut her off and spoke firmly.
うん、そうだね。
Oh yeah, that's right, Tawa-san think something about my attitude, too? Without pursuing anything further, she obediently leaned in to solve the problem I was pointing at. Yeah, there is a kind of a sense of a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush going on here. UA is kind of in the hand, and Kaoru is like two birds in the bush. So if you really go all in and say, no, I am not dating UA, I'm not dating UA, and do things like run away from UA over and over again to try to get Kaoru, you could lose both, right? Whereas UA would be pretty easy to get if you wanted her. Now, if you're me and you have no birds in your hand at all, it doesn't matter. Just go for... It wasn't Otoa-san's fault for asking me this. Even if she asked me about it, it was all my fault for not being able to deny it with a nonchalant expression. Even if she's aware of UA.
Mikami-kun, 聞いてる?
Okay. Mikami-kun, something about listening. Are you holy? No, are you listening? Mikami-kun, are you listening? Ah, I'm listening, right? Yep.
で、この公式が
So this formula suddenly I solved the problem. I almost remembered that time. As I solved the problem, I always remembered that time. Flashback to another Ayaka thing. After that, we finished studying and left a long-stayed cafe. On a side note, I'll add that she gave me a bit of a bad look during the bill. Why? Because you didn't pay for it? Side note, I'd like to add that I received a slightly unpleasant look at the checkout. Okay, so it's from the checkout person. We decided to leisurely walk a short distance to the station. But during that time, I didn't feel as long as when I was studying. Didn't feel as long as when I was studying. In fact, it felt so short that it would be over soon.
でもこれでなんとかなってくれないとあとは三上くん次第なんだからね
But you have to do something with this. The rest is up to you, Mikami-kun. But I need something to be done with this. Oh. Basically, it's like, we've done whatever we could do with this. The rest is up to you, Mikami-kun. I connect to Otawa-san's... What? I don't know, teaching or something. I connect with Otawa-san's words, probably. Maybe. That's what Google Translate says. Tries to like interpret the wrong kanji nature of that. Now that we've come this far, all that's left is to do what we can.
そうそうその意気で頑張って
Yeah, that's the spirit. Do your best. With that makeup exams coming up tomorrow, I was fully motivated. If it were true, I would have been so worried about the makeup exams that I couldn't stand it. But that wasn't the case at all right now. That's probably... Her. I think it's thanks to Otawa-san. This time I couldn't think without Otawa-san's power. Uh-oh. Even after taking the makeup exam like this, she didn't abandon me and save me. Could I be?
どうしたの
What's wrong? I paused my train of thought at that. Oh, don't mind me, Otawa-san. I'm just standing here being all smitten. That comment, I stopped thinking. There's no problem with me basking in this atmosphere right now. So now. Yes, right now? No. It's nothing. With that, I set off down the road to the station again. It's always morning. I guess I said this is called crashing and burning, and in my case, it's not a love song. But in this case, it is. Okay. By the time we reached each other, we were already standing in front of the station. Today is the day I tell her everything I did yesterday. What? With that thought in mind, I headed straight for school.
ともちゃんおはよう
Tomo-chan, good morning. It's probably like use everything she told me, but not tell her everything I did or whatever. He smiles energetically again today. Right now, I don't care about such a being at all. On the contrary, it feels so good that I can watch Yue laugh in a calm mood.
あ、そうだ。昨日のともちゃんったらひどいよ。
Yesterday, something. That's right, Tomo-chan was so mean yesterday.
せっかくゆえが数学を教えてあげるって言ったのに。
Yue went out of her way to teach you math.
もう、今日の追試どうなっても知らないんだから。
Geez, I don't care what happens during today's makeup exams. Don't worry, Yue. She began speaking. I began speaking in a quiet tone, as if I'd been waiting for this exact line.
え
Today is different from yesterday.
どうして？
Why? Well, the results of the makeup exams will tell us everything. Leaving behind someone. Let me see if Google Translate says. Oh yeah, it's leaving behind those words. I started walking down the road to school again.
あ、待ってよ。
Oh, wait. Yui rushed over to me as if chasing after me as I started walking. She's saying that with a big look on her face, but it's definitely not a redundancy. She is by no means joking. She said that with a big look on her face, but she was not joking. Okay. That's how confident I am right now. I enter the classroom and take my seat. As soon as I did, a greeting came flying at me from beside me.
おはよう。どう？今日の追試は大丈夫そう？
Good morning. How is it? Are today's makeup exams okay? Yeah, perfect. I don't know what's going on, but I'm plenty motivated. Okay.
さあ、頑張って昨日の成果を見せてよね。
Well then, give it your best shot. Do your best. Show me the results of yesterday. Over the past few days, Otoa-san, my goddess, encouraged me with a smile. All right, let's keep this up and clear the makeup exams today. By the time the morning clamor had stopped, the homeroom teacher appeared in the classroom. And we're going to skip the whole day. Oh, my head hurts. I shake my head lightly as I reach the shoe locker and look after them. Or look for my shoes, you mean? I hit my head a lot during today's makeup exams. So I had dysentery. I didn't usually get to experience. What? I had a headache that I don't usually get. Why were you hitting your head during the makeup exams? Were you Evan Singletoning your way through the exams? I would never, that's not a good way to get to exams. When I tried to pull the shoe out of my shoe locker, there was a hand that grabbed the shoe from the side and turned it downwards. Oh, so you were waiting for me?
まあね。
Okay, so it's not you oil, yeah.
で、どうだった？
So, how was it? Well, I hit my head apparently because I I try to imitate Evan Singleton as I to get my way through exams, apparently. Our school would search for clues the moment the makeup exams were over and tell us whether we passed or not. You mean the school would grade them? At my school, once the makeup exam is over, they give you a score and tell you if you passed or failed. So it's immediate feedback. Therefore, the results of the makeup exams had already been handed down. What do you think? Usually, I didn't mean to tease her, but that's the answer I gave.
受かってると思う。
Usually if you say something like that, it means you did good. I think you passed. Otawa-san said it clearly. Why do you think that? Because I believe in you, basically.
だって私があれだけ協力してあげたんだもん。受かっててほしいよ。
After all, I helped you so much, I wanted you to pass.
それに三上くんには特別受かってほしいって思いもあるし。
Besides, I want Mikami-kun to get a special pass. Or I wanted him to pass. Well, thanks.
でどうだったの？
So, how was it?
ん？
Of course I passed! That suspense was not for Kaoru. That suspense was for the player. Yes. I couldn't help but howl in a loud voice, not even bothering to confirm that no one was there. Come on. It seems like I'm so happy that my victory pose is almost perfect.
やったじゃないの。
It's like the holding your hands up in the air pose, like looking that Uchikoshi pose. That pose from the axe ending of 999. Which is written description in the bad ending for Karumi in Never Seven, but not like showed in a drawing. It's like just written. But the victory celebration is opposed to anguish. You did it. Otawa-san couldn't help but let out a high-pitched cry of joy at my mad joy. Putting hand on Otawa-san's outstretched hand and firmly grasped hers too. Squeeze the hand. I'm happy that she's so happy. It's like she's talking about herself. I mean, she's so happy that I'm happy. It's like she's happy for herself. It's all thanks to you, Otawa-san.
三上くんの頑張った結果だよ。
Mikami-kun did his best, right? No, it's all of Mikami-kun's hard work. Un. Okay, today's to commemorate my follow-up match. I'll treat you to whatever you like. Whatever the follow-up's supposed to be. She's like, no. But do you have the money, though? Where does Mikami-kun get his money from? All I could really say this time was that it was thanks to Otawa-san. And then I realized just how big of an impact Otawa-san had on me. Does that mean I myself feel the need for Otawa-san? This is cheesy. I don't know what I'm thinking, but right now I want everyone to be happy. There was my little moment of joy. Here was my little moment of joy. It's time to go home after class. Around me, I see students returning home in the same way. It's not like I'm going to do anything. I'm just going to send her home in search of a time that can't be called peaceful. It can't, or can be called peaceful. Can't even be called peaceful, whatever. But anyway, to the shopping district. I took the commuter pass out of my uniform's inner pocket and reached for the automatic ticket gate. Pulled back my outstretched hands and moved away from the ticket gate. The commuter pass expired? It could have been tomorrow. Now that I'm suddenly remembering it, I can't hold myself back any longer. Should I stop by and go home? Warmed by thought, I walked around in circles on the spot. It wasn't like there would be any problems if I stopped by now. But it's also true that I'd like to go home right away and watch TV. What are you exchanging this with? Tomorrow's fine. I don't want to give up so easily when I'm curious. However, such thoughts are meaningless. For some reason. The reason is simple. I'm already standing there. The store is crammed full of books on display. The selection of bookstores here boasted the largest scale in the area. Okay. There are magazines, novels, essay columns, children's and housewives on the street. What? And even though the floor itself is small, it can be said that the number of books that can make up for almost everything is... It's crammed with books, right? Books for children and... Basically it has all kinds of books, that's the point. Too long of a line to translate without fail, but there's all kinds of books there. The corner of that bookstore, I came to the manga section. There it is. There's a lot of manga lined up on the bookshelf. I pick up the books lined up in front of me. It was a shoujo manga. It's a manga that had been serialized for a long time. It's already been 5 years since I started reading it. The standard theme for girls' love life. So it's like a romance thing then. The content is the usual theme of a young girl. Okay, young girl, rentada. Yeah, okay. But it's pretty interesting. But it's embarrassing when I buy it. There was a time when I wondered what her hobby was at her age, but before I knew it, I was buying it in my hand, so there was no helping it. But more than that, I had a preconceived notion that I wanted to read this book. That feeling makes me forget the embarrassment I felt when I bought it, even if only temporarily. Quotes, as long as it's quality, it'll work out somehow. But by the time I get to the register counter, that feeling is always blown away. That's why whenever I buy this manga, I can't help but feel nervous and embarrassed. Oh no, is it going to be the cashier's going to be one of the girls, isn't she? The lunch lady. Koyomi, right? Is that what's going to happen here? Maybe if I hadn't read this manga back then, I wouldn't have had to do something so embarrassing right now. The one who inspired me to read this book in the first place. Yue. Or Ayaka. It's Ayaka. I guess there's no point in remembering you. I shook my head a few times, staring at reality as if trying to get rid of the idle thought. Still, it's late to avoid the register today. She's starting to get generally annoyed at the sight of 3 guests waiting in front of her as I proceeded at a leisurely pace. First of all, if someone sees me like this, I'm sure I won't be able to see them in the future. I won't be able to face them in the future. For example, in the case of Sheen.
うわ、お前何買ってんだよ。そういうもんは普通年頃の女の子が読むようなもんだろうが。
This is like imagining what he would say in his head, right? What are you buying? Isn't that the kind of thing a girl your age would read? Or younger? I bet he'd say something like that to the whole classroom without a hint of fear. That's too unpleasant. While I was worrying about that, my turn had already come to me. Dozo, which is go ahead. Responding to the clerk's call, I hesitantly held out the book I was holding. That's 410 yen. I take 10, so Ichi Senju in, right? 1,010 yen for my wallet and put it on the plate. You need 600 yen for change in order to get this over with quickly. I was thinking of keeping the fishing low, but... huh? Judging by the situation, it looked like she was having a hard time operating the register for some reason. Like this? I don't know if she's pushing it right or not, but the register doesn't respond to her manipulation at all. I'm starting to get impatient and irritated as well. My irritation is growing as well. Just waiting for the CG. No way. Give me a break. Suppressing the urge to send her out of the... What? Suppressing the desire to say anything, I keep an eye on her movements. It's not like this. Before I knew it, people were gradually lining up behind me. I just wanted her to hurry up. Soshite is like but, right? And then... it opened. The register finally opened, and she skillfully pulled the change out of it. I guess fishing was like change. But I'm at my limit. There's already nearly 10 people lined up at the register. And since I'm at the front of the line, I'm attracting a lot of attention. I'm not going to see the book you have. At this rate, I'll be like announcing to the people lined up that I bought a shoujo manga. Anyway, let's get out of here. Sorry to keep you waiting. Here's your 600 yen change. Saying that, I grabbed the change and receipt she held out to me. Ran out of the store as fast as I could. Ah, Mikami-kun. was Koyomi, wasn't it? At that moment, it felt like someone had called out to me, but I ignored it and ran down the street of the shopping district. All I could do was run as fast as I could. Maybe if you had more points for her, or less points for other characters, it turns out a little differently. Hot. I somehow managed to sprint all the way to Sumiku Station. A suffocating feeling welled up from deep in my throat as I desperately held it in and passed through the ticket gate. Just as we passed the ticket gate, the train came in. Nice timing. Okay, so it's Masani nice timing. Truly nice timing, okay. We boarded well at almost the same time as the slide in and the train departed. Okay. As I leaned against the closed door, my shoulders heaved with ragged breaths over and over. I don't think I need to run away after all this. By the time I managed to calm down, I remember the hard sensation on my left hand and slowly opened the hand I've been holding for a long time. 2 coins and a long, narrow receipt were firmly in my hand. But not the book. The coins, large and small, were sweaty with the palm of my hand, faintly glowing with the condition of the western sun. And in my right hand, I held only the regular schedule I had used to get to the ticket gate. Yeah, I feel like there's... Sorry, I hit the microphone. There's something missing. I groped my uniform with my hand. There's nothing out of the ordinary about what I'm wearing. Which means... what? There's nothing out of the ordinary around me. I don't have any, but there's something missing. It's like there's something more obvious missing. I try thinking back to what I did up until now. I went to the bookstore, took the book, paid for it, the clerk was late, and the bill was finally paid. Finally, I received the change. What's this? There's no problem at all. Ah! All of a sudden, I yelled inside the car and everyone stared at me. Wondering what was going on if people peeked at me from the next car over. But I don't mind every little thing right now. It wasn't until now that I realized it. I forgot the manga that I bought. The manga. The pathetic voice that murmured in a low voice never reached anyone's ears. Morning sunlight shines on my skin again today. What was that? That probably leads to lead to something, but it just didn't at that point. The autumn weather is familiar. The wind touching my cheeks feels good. Everything is appropriate for this clear autumn weather. It makes me feel that way. I'm just going to keep going until I get to the scene where, like, Koyomi or someone shows up and gives him the manga. Hey, you forgot this. However, just for today, that feeling had been blown away. I'm deeply indebted to her, so all I can say is that I owe her. To be honest, I couldn't sleep last night. I stepped out of the station thinking I had to go to school, even if I felt like it, and there was Yui waiting for me every time. Well, even if I didn't feel like it, right?
おはよう、ともちゃん。
Good morning, Tomo-chan.
はあ、ずい
Ha.
ぶん変な挨拶だね。
Well, that's a pretty weird greeting, isn't it? I didn't say hello to Yue. Or Ohio. But I can't even find the words to say hello. Paying no heed to Yue's congratulatory smile this morning, I continued down the road to school.
あ、待ってよ。
But wait. Yue, calls after me. And so another day has begun. The class scene is no different from usual. Or so I'd like to say, but... It's the exact same as this morning, so I'm only scared. Or last morning. I'm completely unmotivated. Everything feels so long ago. The reason is because of what happened yesterday. After that embarrassing experience, I failed to accept the book I bought. The more I thought back on it, the worse the day got. I'm sure it's not like this. Next, Mikami, read it. I can't believe she wouldn't notice if I hit her. What? I bet you wouldn't notice at all, even if you guessed it. Hey, Mikami-kun, can't you hear me? Kui. Whatever that means.
三上くん、呼んでるよ。
Mikami-kun, I'm calling you. Nani?
だから先生が呼んでるって。
Nani is what, if you don't remember? You need to remember Nani is what. Throughout this Let's Play, if there's a Nani, I'm just going to say, Nani? Like I said, the teacher is calling you. Oh. Well, Towa-san said in a low voice. Sensei is calling me? Oh! Hi! I straightened my back up and stood up vigorously. What, have you been dozing off since second period? No way, I was just thinking about something. I wish you would listen to class before you start thinking about things. Sumimasen, which is like, no excuses. I didn't think she'd actually hit me. For now, I read the textbook. What are we doing? Are you going to answer the question? How would I know the answer? I don't even know what the question is. I looked at the pages trying to figure out what she meant by that. However, I realized that I'd just been called, not hit called, so there's no way I know what he'd said.
51ページの8行目から読んでいく。
51st page, 8th line. 51st page. Did I say that? I said 51st page. Yes, I know it's 51st, okay, but I felt like saying 51th. And as soon as I heard her whisper, I turned back to the page. Or I turned to the page. But it's kind of like... I said 51th without thinking. That's what came out of my mouth by
教
default.
科書逆だよ。ほら、落ち着いて。
It's the other way around. Come on, calm down. Tomoya pointed it out even more in a low voice. I read the textbook back up and down, this time for sure. Zono, that time, in the station platform, I stood up. See what it is in the, I was standing on the station platform. Wait a minute. Hi? Where are you going to read? No more importantly, what's that textbook? Wrong textbook. Yeah, it's just a textbook. I said it so casually, but Sensei pressed her fingers against my forehead with a difficult expression. With a puzzled look on her face. Maybe against her forehead. It's like that Apollo Justice pose, right, with the finger against the forehead. What time is it? If the teacher is here, that means this is English, right? So what subject is your textbook for? No matter how you look at it, it's modern Japanese. Her words cut off there. My words cut off there. I didn't really want to think about what kind of face I was making right now as I talked to the teacher. I look at the textbook again. Before I knew it, my English textbook had switched to Japanese. Oh. Who's doing this and when? I couldn't help but cry out in surprise at this event that I hadn't even noticed. I looked on my side, saw Tawa-san trembling as she lowered her face to the desk. The OCR just goes berserk. What? Yeah, is that better? Come on, translate it. OCR it. Do something. I don't know. We will never know anything about what this line says. Let's say, I don't know what shikashi is, right? They have naze, which I don't know what that is either. Ore, which is first person subject pronoun. Ga, which is a part of postposition, it's like he's new information. English, something to do with language. Probably English. De Hanak, which I don't know what that is. I don't know, something to do with languages and himself. In other words, I transferred the preparations from the previous class to the current one. That seems to be the case. Ah ha 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 ha. At this point, I had no choice but to gloss over the situation with a hoarse laugh. After that, I was summoned to the hallway at the end of class. When I got back to the classroom, I headed straight for my seat. I was summoned to the hallway once because I was falsely accused of being racist. Otawa-san was waiting for my teacher. Waiting for you, you mean? I don't see Sensei in this at all. I don't know. I was waiting for him, I think.
こってり怒られたみたいだね。
Looks like she's really mad at you, huh? Well, if she did something like that, if I did something like that, any teacher would get mad at me. I sat down in my own chair and spoke in a self-deprecating tone of voice.
そんなの当たり前だって。
That's only natural.
だって三上くん、せっかく教えてあげたのに全然違う教科書持ってるんだよ。
I mean, Mikami-kun, I went out of my way to teach you, but you have a textbook that you can avoid at all costs. To teach you this, you have a textbook that completely avoids it, right? Even though I taught you this, you have a textbook. I don't know what that means.
さすがに呆れて何も言えなくなっちゃうって。
I'm so exasperated that I can't say anything. I'm really sorry. You went out of your way to save me.
ま、いいけどね。面白かったし。
Well, it's fine. It was fun. Hiroshi Amoshiroi, which is, yes, fun or interest. It was interesting. What do you find interesting in the end?
ほんのちょっとだけねって。
Just a little bit. Wait. In that conversation, Otawa suddenly claps her hands together as if remembering something.
そうそう、忘れるとこだった。
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Saying that she takes out her bag. Small paper bag emerges from inside. She places it on my desk. Are you about to needlessly die of embarrassment, Tomoya? 何
昨日の忘れ物だよ。
It's something you forgot yesterday. She says that with a smile. I don't remember forgetting anything. Yes, you did. That's what you're remembering this whole time. That's why you're not paying attention. Did I borrow something from Otawa-san?
別に何も貸した覚えはないよ。
I don't remember lending you anything. Then what is it?
わざとらしいこと言っちゃって。この本に見覚えない？
Jeez. You said something I said something so deliberate. Can't you see it? It is a book. Otawa-san carefully opened the paper bag. When the contents were completely exposed to my vision, my expression froze with a squeak. An indescribably dry voice escaped my lips.
思い出した？
Do you remember? With a slightly mean smile on her face, Otomo-san inspected the book again, on her desk. How could I forget? Thanks to this book, not only yesterday, but today as well.
店の人に忘れていったのは私の友達ですって説明したら、よろしくって渡されちゃったんだよね。
When I explained to the shopkeeper, it was a friend of mine who forgot about it. He gave me his regards, or he or she gives you her regards. Then Otoa-san, could you have been
うん、いたよ。駅前の本屋でしょ。
stalking me? Yeah. There I was. I was at the bookstore in front. You were at the bookstore in front of the station, right? She says terrifying things with a straight face. I didn't notice that at all. What? Or she didn't notice that at all. No, wait. I think someone was calling out to me when I was leaving the store. I can't believe it was Otoa. Don't tell me you called me when I left the store or something like that.
うん、呼んだよ。
Yeah, I called you. I knew it. I had a hunch.
でも三上くんたらあんなに必死な顔で走っていっちゃうから。
But Mikami-kun ran off with such a desperate look on his face.
追いつけそうにないし、仕方なく途中で諦めちゃった。
I don't think I'll be able to didn't think I was able to catch up, so I gave up halfway through. So you went out of your way to deliver it to me like this?
そういうこと。人の行為は素直に受け取っておこうね。
Exactly. Let's just accept. Can't you just accept people's goodwill? She put the book back in the paper bag and holds it out to me in a neatly wrapped state. I won't take it. Take it. Why was no take it an option? Why is that an option? Why is that an option? Yes, take the thing. You like it, don't you? You like the story. You want to read the manga, don't you? Then I'll just obediently accept your goodwill and, I obediently held out my hand to accept the paper bag, but grabbed at the sky. Not knowing what was going on, I asked Otawa hesitantly. When I did, her face was teasing and she made an innocent smile.
もちろん、何かお礼があってもいいと思わない？
Of course, I don't think it's okay if
まず、
without a
今日の
thank
帰
you
り
or
にでも
something.
付き合ってもらおうかな。
Maybe I should ask you to come with me on the way home today. You've already specified it on your way home today. Did you immediately specify that you would return today? Something like that. This isn't much of a problem. It'll be a problem that'll be solved in no time if we treat them lightly in the shopping district anyway. Something like that. I don't have any plans, so it's fine.
ああ、その言い方はちょっと違うな。
That's a bit of a weird way to put it. Huh? What's the way that was that the wrong way to put it? I thought I would properly agree to the conditions Otawa-san said, but
私、三上くんの弱みを握ってるんだよ。
I have Mikami-kun's weakness, you know.
こういう時は、そんな態度で言わないでしょ？
Times like this, you don't have to act like that, do you?
だから、
So. I see. With those words, I finally understood what Otawa-san had said. She told me to act a little more like that, even if it's only in form. That seems to be the case. I'd very much like to ask you to invite me after school. Is that okay? I would like to invite you somewhere after school. Is that okay?
そうそうなんてね。
Yes, that's right. That's right. Just kidding. You're such a terrible neighbor to finally do something so fake.
そんなつもりは全然ないって。
I didn't mean to. Surprised by my comment, she tried to explain herself. Her appearance is infinitely honest and pure.
私は三上くんにそんなことをさせるつもりなんて。
I have no intention of letting Mikami-kun do that. I know you're joking, of course.
ああ、私の方が立場上なのに。
Oh, even though I'm in a better position than you. She looks dissatisfied with my attitude. Her eyes were angry, but her words and attitude were smiling. Ha 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 ha. I didn't feel bad about being in a position where I felt this bad about myself with Otawa-san either. That's a pretty good translation. That's pretty correct. I don't feel bad about being in such a bad situation. Obediently and purely Otawa-san acted. The face I showed Otawa-san was so calm that even I could tell it was hers. What? The face I showed Otawa-san was so calm that even someone could see it. I don't know. Something about calm faces. I can see the dim atmosphere of the shoe lockers. I followed a narrow path to class, turning my eyes away from the faint brightness of the setting sun. I took my familiar shoes out of my stainless steel shoe locker and casually shoved them into my indoor shoe. Okay, it's not obviously stainless steel, but whatever. Basically, it's changed his shoes out. That's the point. I don't really care otherwise. Then the shadow of a person stretched out from behind me.
やっと終わった？
Finally done? Toa-san was looking at me as she carried her bag behind her. You don't have to wait for me, since you know I'm cleaning up.
何を言うやら。これから三上くんを連れ回せるなら、ちょっとくらい待つ覚悟はできてるよ。
I don't know what to say. If I can bring Mikami-kun around from now on, I'm prepared to wait a little longer. I wanted to forget that resolve. I could forget as many things as I wanted. You seem really excited.
そう。張り切ってるんだから、早く行こうよ。
That's right. Well, I'm all fired up, so let's get going. Yes, yes. obediently followed her lead. The season for the tree drying dance was getting closer and closer. I mean the cherry blossoms? Season of dancing of Kogarashi is finally approaching. The autumn leaves fluttered in the air, and the scattered crimson leaves blocked my view from time to time.
ねえ、三上くん。
Mikami-kun. Hmm? Followed Otawa-san around. She suddenly turned around.
その本ってさ、本当に三上くんが読んでるの？
Do you really read that book, Mikami-kun? That book is about the manga she gave me back earlier. Of course, I've bought it without fail until now. If you want, I can explain as much as I can.
それはまた別の機会にね。
We'll save that for another time. She quickly turns me down. Should I be happy she believed me, or should I be sad that she turned me down so quickly? Oh, whatever. Mikoto. So why'd you ask me that?
うん。男の子でもそういう少女漫画って読むのかなって、ただそう思ったから。
Well, knowing Kaoru is because she thinks that I bought it for some other girl, right? He's like, what girl did you buy it for? And why is it not me? So I was like so suspicious, that way. Now I was thinking about even boys would read manga about girls like that, that's all. Is it weird?
変じゃないけど。
It's not weird, but if it's kind of weird is one of those things where a little weird permeates everything. If something's kind of weird, it is weird. It's not weird, but something's bothering her. Is that what she's trying to say? Well, I didn't want to pry any further. Then it's fine, isn't it? No matter what kind of book a person reads, it's up to them.
え？
Eh? I don't know about that. There are some books that I would pass judgment on you if you were to read them. They actually can do damage to you if you read them. Memories Off isn't one of them. He's not one of them. What a disgusting way to put it. Even I unconsciously declared it.
そうだよね。
You're right.
ごめん。なんか三上くんのこと悪く言っちゃったね。
Sorry, I said something bad about Mikami-kun. Not really. I don't care about that. What bothered me was what I said to Otawa.
でも三上くんは変だと思うけどな。
I think Mikami-kun is weird. Weird.
結構ね。
Pretty much. Moo.
嘘に決まってるでしょ。
Of course I'm lying. I don't know.
でも三上くんが綾瀬美咲の本を読むなんてほんと意外だよ。
But what's really surprising is that Mikami-kun would read a book about Shigise Misaki. Misaki Ayase? Who's that?
誰それって、三上くんの買った本の原作者だよ。
Who's that? The author of the book Mikami-kun bought. Hi? Yes? Oh, I don't really know. I really don't know. Wait, is that a real person? Wait a second. Hold up. Okay, OCR this. And then let's paste that in to not Google Translate, Google Search. Well, there's someone with a Twitter and an Instagram by that name. Okay, there's a Wikipedia page. Translate it. But it's just an idol. Okay, so she's just an actor. Not an author. Huh. Huh. Okay. Well, maybe there is an author by that name too. It's just less famous, so her search results get drowned out. I'm going to save the game here. I'll have to translate this line because I just got it. I don't know that I don't understand, so it can't be helped. So X, whoops, the plus key, save in slot 10. Oh yes, put the plus menu up. Quit. Yes, I want to quit. Go to the clear list. Still no endings. No, of course, no endings. See what scene I'm down to. $85. Yeah, 85 at about 145. Still not even close. Only got one new CG, right? Yeah, it's this one. It has multiple versions. That's it. Still have a whole she got 4, and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. We saw like one of them in the opener. But I don't know what the other 6 are. Okay. Well, that's it for now.